Welcome to FBB Forum. My name is David, and this podcast is dedicated to all the amazing women competing in bodybuilding. If you like this content, please be sure to like, subscribe, and follow my YouTube and Instagram pages. My next guest is an amazing IFBB pro figure competitor who recently qualified for the Masters Olympia. Erika Phillips won the Masters 40 plus category in figure just 2 weeks ago at Toronto Pro, and she has an amazing look. Erika lives in Turlock, California, just south of Modesto, and is a city councilwoman there too. And she also is an entrepreneur and has her own fitness meal prep company. Stay tuned to find out what is next for this amazing athlete. Is she flying to Tokyo in August? I guess we'll find out shortly. So, welcome, Erika. It's great to see you here.
Thank you so much, and I appreciate you having me.
Thank you. Yeah, I was telling you earlier, I just had one of your Toronto Pro Masters competitor fellow competitors, I should say.
Mhm.
Ryan Martin was on with me, and it was great speaking with her too.
Awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah, she was cool. I really liked her. So in terms of getting started in bodybuilding, I was curious if you had an athletic or sports background before you started competing.
Yeah, so I've been an athlete my whole life. Just growing up, I guess you could say I was a tomboy. I played softball for the first 10, 15 years of my life. Going into high school, I did track and field. And then right after that, I just started focusing on, physical fitness. I've been training in the gym for about 16 years or so.
Wow.
And my focus on bodybuilding started only about maybe 6 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so from there, I just kind of focused on building more muscle. Believe it or not, in my 20s, I was actually an overweight female. A lot of people don't realize that seeing me the way I am today, but
Yeah, I
I
see.
was actually about 40 pounds overweight.
Okay.
There was one day where I went to see my doctor, and he pretty much gave me a wake-up call. He says, "Erica, you're overweight. You're gonna have to change some things around." And I didn't like the sound of that. So I was like, you know what? Like, this is it. So that was kind of the pivotal moment where I was like, you know what? I'm going to take charge of my health.
Okay.
I'm going to do what I have to do to, be where I'm supposed to be a healthier version of myself.
Okay. Yeah.
And so here I am.
It's good they gave you that wake up call too, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely a life changer for sure. So I'm blessed to have a doctor to tell me straight up, hey, you know what? You need to do something about this. Otherwise, God knows where you're gonna end up. So
That's terrific. That's really cool. Yeah, I like
mhm.
that. I was you mentioned 40 pounds overweight. How tall are you? Just out of curiosity.
I'm 5'8", so I'm 5'8", so I actually carried the weight pretty well.
Yeah.
So with that, I didn't realize, I'm overweight because,
Hmm.
I'm a tall chick.
Yeah.
But, according to, the numbers in science, I was. So
Hmm.
I was like,
Sure.
yeah, I don't like the sound of that. So I need to change some things. So, which I did.
That's terrific. That's really cool. That's great. Yeah. I was curious that was there anybody in particular who kind of convinced you to do your first contest in bodybuilding?
Yeah, actually, my best friend, had it always she was always in my ear. She's like, Erica, she's like, you need to get into bodybuilding. Like, you have the athletic look that, you can go for it, specifically the figure division.
Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna give this a try, So I like trying new things. I like putting myself in uncomfortable positions where, I have to work for something in order to succeed. So, I took the leap. I hired a coach then, and she kind of took me into my first show. The crazy part about that, it was I started in 2019. I hired my coach, and then going into 2020, I was going to do my first show, and then COVID hit.
Oh
So
yeah.
that kind of put a halt to everything.
Yeah.
And so I was just kind of like, oh man, like this sucks. I did all this work, it kind of gets into your head.
Yeah. I
And
understand.
so, but then, going there, things started to, get somewhat better where, in the fall, I was able to do a couple shows, with the mask, of course, which was kind of
Yeah.
interesting, but I still was able to compete. I did a show in I did the Tahoe show through Legion or oh gosh, Center Podium. And thereafter, I did Nevada State Championships where I placed first in both of them.
Wow, nice.
And so then on, I just kind of was, building up. I think I did like one more show the following 2021 in May, where I took the overall. And so my coach at the time was like, you know what, like let's shoot for nationals. I think you're ready for it. And so I told my husband about it. He's like, let's go. I ended up going to Pittsburgh to the collegiate show where I won my earned my pro card. So my fourth show, I got my pro card, and from then on, it was just kind of like, okay, now I got to kind of start over again and build myself up to my pro debut.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, it was one of my good friends. She pretty much told me like, hey, you know what? I think you're gonna be pretty good at this, and here I am. I'm doing all right, I believe. So I can only get better. I'm improving, and that's the name of the game is improving as you go. You can't really rush the process. It's all about putting in the work and effort and time and nutrition and everything that kind of goes into play with it. So
Yeah, that's awesome. No, I think that's terrific. That's great that she saw potential in you too and got you to compete. That's great.
yeah.
Yeah. Did you always do figure then?
Yeah, so I started in figure and I pretty much stuck in figure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because everything else, it was just kind of like, I don't know that I would fit. I had a little bit too much muscle for bikini and then not enough for women's physique. That's a whole nother beast. And so I was like, you
Yeah.
know what? I think figure is, I fit perfectly. So
I agree. Oh yeah, I think you definitely look great for figure. Yeah.
thank you.
And I like figure better than like bikini or wellness. I think the figure girls are just more balanced, they look better, I think. And
Yeah, and that's what I like about it too. So
hmm I don't like with the bikini girls too. They don't really show their back. They got the hair covering their back, but gotta
yeah.
show the back. Come on now. I was curious, do you have like a fitness role model that you or anybody you look up to in bodybuilding that you really like?
The figure champ, I think everybody, a lot of the figure chicks look up to Sydney and Jessica Reyes Padilla. Those are the top two that I've
Yeah,
always looked up to just going into amateur bodybuilding. I was just like, man, like, okay, what kind of work do they do? And just kind of you know, look them up, how they do things, and just kind of, see how I can improve, based on what they do because, they're the top two in the world. So it's like, okay,
yeah,
those are the ones that we kind of got to focus on if we want to move up the ladder.
yeah. I got to meet them both. They're both really cool people too. So
Awesome.
they're, approachable. Yeah, for being top level like that. They're really nice.
Yeah, for sure.
I was curious when you first stepped on stage on a bikini and in not much clothing and this big stage, was it kind of nerve-wracking for you, or did you feel comfortable, or how did you feel?
You know what? I just the first show it was kind of nerve-wracking. I think I blacked out to be honest. I don't know how I got on stage or what, but luckily I didn't fall. But it was once I got that first show out of the way, I was like, okay, I got it out of my system. I wasn't too uncomfortable. It was just kind of just going up there and just, doing it, but in heels, of course. And that's the kind of the crazy part. People are like, "Oh my God, you have to go in heels." And I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah,
But
it's not
the
easy.
first show was very, very interesting. It was just kind of one of those things where you kind of just gotta get it out the way. But thereafter, um, I was just like, all right, let's do this. So
Yeah,
yeah, I was super comfortable after that.
terrific. Yeah, I
Hmm.
think it's good to get a show out of the way for your first time, and then you know what to expect, like backstage
Hmm.
and with the expediters and everything, tanning and makeup and everything. So,
Yep.
but yeah, I think before that you really don't know, and the audience doesn't really know what's going on either, so what you
Mm-mm,
guys go
nope.
through. So,
For sure.
but hopefully you get enough people cheering for you. That's what I always feel like some of these shows, the audience is too quiet. Just I'd prefer not be the only one yelling for the ladies.
Then they look at you like you're crazy.
I
You should see
know.
my
It's like,
husband.
oh, he'll yell for you.
Oh yeah, he's like, he'll yell my number. He's like, Erica, do this, do that, and I'm just like, oh my God, Mike. But I hear him. I'm just like, okay, okay, I got it, I got
Okay,
it.
cool. No, you gotta have a cheering section,
For
So
sure.
yeah. So of course, congrats on winning Masters 40 plus at Toronto Pro. And I was curious, what was your experience like at that show? Was it exciting for you?
It was super exciting. Just going into Canada for this show, as I mentioned earlier, it was just very it's almost as if like I was supposed to be there. Like it's just you feel this sense of calm. You go in and you did all the work and now you just got to show up and just go on stage and present your best look for that day. My experience backstage, I mean, everything was well ran. Like I give them kudos for everything. Everything was just very professional, very organized, on time even. So
Great.
yeah, it was probably one of the best shows to compete at, in my opinion. So
I honestly, I think there's something about Canada. Canada's kind of chill, compared to
yeah,
US, and Toronto's a great city too. So, um,
yeah.
and I've heard too that the Haitians are really good promoters, that they really take care of the athletes and stuff too. So,
Oh yeah, they had really awesome like swag bags. They were probably like 10 pounds. They were very heavy. It had a bunch of cool stuff. I was like, man, this is probably like the best bag I've ever gotten. There was this a lot
nice.
of cool stuff. I mean, yeah, they went all out for that. It was very awesome.
That's very cool. I bet that was
Mhm.
awesome to get that.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I want to go to that show one of these days. I was curious, would you say was there a good kind of Iron Sisterhood backstage at Toronto Pro too?
So, I feel there was so many competitors. I think there was like 27, if I remember correctly, in the figure open, where
Oh, it was.
everybody was just kind of in their own like bubble type of thing. So,
Yeah,
but yeah,
sure.
and that's totally fine. Like, because when you're in the zone, you just gotta let people be, so.
Oh yeah, I gotcha. I understand. Yeah, I totally got that. I
Yeah.
was amazed by the number of competitors too, 27 and
Oh
open.
yeah, I was like before they even put the list out, I had no clue. I was like, yeah, I mean, whoever shows up shows up. And when the list came out, I was like, holy cow, that's a lot of chicks.
I know.
But you know what though? I mean, the more the better is how I see it because, that way you can kind of figure out where you are in placing. If Olympians show up, you can kind of see how close you are to them and whatnot. And so I see it as, the more chicks, the more women competing, the better it is for everybody.
I agree. No, I totally agree with you. I'm
Mhm.
glad to feel that way too. And you placed sixth in the open, right?
I placed sixth in open, yeah, so I'm super happy about that. I mean the
Yeah.
top women, I mean they looked incredible. The overall winner, I think her name was Helen. She looked incredible. I was like,
Yeah.
man, like she beautiful physique. I have to give it to her. It was just she earned that one. That was her night for sure.
She actually told me something kind of interesting, like interesting trivia that she's the first female Greek competitor going to the Olympia, I think.
I
So
saw that.
yeah,
That's
which is
amazing.
I
Yeah, that
know.
is that is so cool. Yeah, kudos to her. Congratulations to Helen. That's awesome.
Yeah, she's really looks great too. I liked her look. So
Hmm.
that's terrific. I'm glad you had a good time there and did so well. Now, I was curious in terms of doing masters or open. Do you have a preference, or do you think you'll continue doing both?
I'm going to continue doing both. The ultimate goal is to go to the Olympia in Las Vegas. I mean, that's the ultimate goal. I look at shows where they have Masters and Open, and I'm going to be doing both every time, no matter what.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the ultimate goal is to hit the Olympia stage, and God willing, when after my next off season come next year, I go to a show and earn it. And so I just gotta, after Masters Olympia, I'm just gonna go back to work, keep my head down, and just put in all the hard work that we need to in order to get to that level.
That's terrific. Yeah. And so you are going to definitely go to Tokyo, right? You're planning on going?
100%. Yeah, as I mentioned, everything is booked. I literally booked everything yesterday, the hotel and flight. So I'm
Oh,
ready. I'm just ready. I'm just waiting on the contract to be emailed so I can sign that off, and that's the only thing. So everything else is on the calendar.
congrats. That's exciting.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a stacked list too for figure, at
Oh
next
yeah,
level. Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, that's going to be great for you to be on stage for those ladies. And yeah, that's really exciting. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And yeah, I don't know if you noticed, they're gonna have the Tokyo Pro the following day, the Tokyo Super Show, and so I'm gonna jump in on that one too. So I'm gonna do the Masters Olympia, and then Monday is the Tokyo Pro. So I'm gonna do two shows while I'm out there.
Really? Oh, I didn't
Mm.
realize that. Oh,
Yep.
wow. Oh,
Yeah,
that's cool.
I looked at the schedule and I told my husband, I was like, well, I mean, I'm already there. Let's go into the open show and see what happens.
So if you won that one, then you'd qualify for the Olympia in Vegas. Is that right?
Yep.
Oh,
Yep, that's
wow. That's
correct.
exciting. Wow. Very
Yeah.
cool. I wonder, oh, that's great. I wonder if there's a lot of ladies planning on doing that for Masters Olympia.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I'm sure they are. I figure, if you're already there, why not? So,
Yeah. Oh, that's terrific. That's exciting. Wow. Very cool.
yeah.
No, best wishes to you on that too. I think that's exciting. Yeah. Very
Thank
cool.
you.
Yeah, you're already there. You might as well. I mean, that makes sense. Um, I was curious, have you sought any feedback from the judges in terms of where to improve your physique or presentation?
Yeah, so I talked to Tyler Mannion after the show, and he just said, to come in fuller. So I feel my in prejudging that day in Toronto, I might have came in a little bit less fuller, I guess. But after that show, I did have a nice meal. So I think we're strategically planning out our my meals for Tokyo. That way I can come in fuller in the morning for prejudging. And so, but yeah, that was the only feedback that I got from Tyler. He's like, just come in fuller all around, and we'll see from there. So I said, all right, you got it.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's good to get feedback from him and from the Manions, kind of the voice of the league, basically.
Absolutely. And yeah,
Yeah.
when they announced that he was the head judge, and I was like, awesome. I go,
Yeah.
this makes the show even cooler because you're gonna get it from the main guy. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was super awesome of him to be there.
That's great. That's terrific. Yeah. I was just thinking you're going to get some really good sushi in Tokyo, I bet. That's
Oh yeah.
like the real
I'm so
deal.
excited about that. Yeah, I was actually looking at they have like sushi making classes, and I'm just like, okay. I go, do I want to go to a sushi class or just go to a sushi restaurant and eat? So we're kind of building our itinerary out as we go. So, but yeah, I'm gonna have some real sushi. So I'm so excited for that.
Oh man, I bet the food's gonna be great down there. Yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah.
wow, very cool. I wish I could go this year. I have a daughter in college, and just it's not in the cards for me to get to Tokyo, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's a pretty penny for sure.
Yeah, I know. Oh, well.
Yeah, but it's gonna be all worth it regardless. It's just gonna be a all around great experience just going out there. So I'm blessed to be able to go out there with my husband. So I'm excited.
That's like, yeah, very cool. Congrats. I think that's awesome. Yeah.
Thank you.
Um, I was curious in terms of your pro card. You mentioned NPC Nationals or Masters Nationals in 2021.
Mhm.
Is there any advice you could provide to ladies who are looking to earn their pro card? And I know it takes a lot of hard work and dedication, but any other advice you could provide?
Yeah, I would say the higher opposing coach for sure, 110%.
Mm,
And because posing could either, make or break you depending on, how you present yourself up there. And
Yeah,
so, that's what I learned the hard way is, making sure that you're practicing your posing, whether it's 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, but just a little bit every day if you could, just to get into the routine. So when you go up there, you're like, you don't kind of like forget how to do stuff. And so, yeah, I would say the number one thing is posing, of course, the training and nutrition, but if you can't present your physique like you're supposed to, you're not going to place well. So,
that's really good advice. And I think posing does get overlooked a little bit too. And maybe women don't practice enough before the show, I think sometimes too. But no, I agree with you. I think that's really important. And posing in heels, I don't think is easy either. That's
yeah, especially in heels. So you just got to make sure that you got to learn how to walk in heels first, and then get the posing down. So for myself, I'll walk in my house in heels, like I have like my shorts on or whatever, and I'm just like walking in them just so I get used to it.
yeah.
It's you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I was thinking with you being so tall too, you get pretty tall with those heels, I bet you as well.
Oh yeah, I probably get to like 6'2" in heels. So
Wow. Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Really tall. That's very cool though. That's awesome. I was curious, what do you think is like your best muscle group and what do you think needs the most improvement?
Um, well, I love the back. So like just in women, if you have a beautiful back, I feel it's just you can see all the hard work that women put in.
Mhm.
The back going up to the shoulders. I think it's just very beautiful. And I do need to improve on my lats, so like a little bit on my back area. I can always have bigger shoulders, we're just a little bit of everything, we can always improve, where I think as a person or as human beings, we're our own worst critics, and I feel like that's how it should be if you're always trying to, get better, a little bit every day. So
Mhm.
yeah, that's pretty much how I see myself. So I used to lack a lot of glutes and hammies, and so but I've improved a lot there. My quads have improved, but as Tyler mentioned, we still got to come in a little fuller. So it's
Sure.
always just going back to the drawing board every time. So, and I don't have a problem with that because I really enjoy, the training part of it as well.
That's great. I think that's
Hmm.
terrific. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, no, and I just think you have a really good balanced look, definitely
Thank
from
you.
the pictures in Toronto. Yeah, you look great.
Thank
Yeah.
you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Um, Now I was curious, do you have a prep coach that you're working with?
So my husband is actually my coach.
Oh yeah? Oh, very
Yeah, yeah,
cool.
yeah. So he actually took over last year, early last year. And it kind of made sense because, he sees me every day. So I was like, you know what? It makes sense. He can kind of figure out, if I need to, add more food to my nutrition, maybe taper back, more cardio, less cardio. So just checking in with him, taking pictures every week. And, as we get closer to shows, it's like every day. It made it easier for me to, tweak things if needed, because I always had someone there, and
Yeah.
so, and he does bodybuilding too. He's competed in the past as well.
Okay.
And so, but this year he took the year off to coach me to get up to this point where I am right now. But
Oh,
yeah, no,
cool.
he pretty much took over the past couple years. And then my posing, I've done my posing myself, but I am actually going to be looking into hiring a posing coach, just to sharpen things up a little bit,
Okay.
so I can present myself better in Tokyo.
Oh, cool.
Hmm.
So there's a good one there in Vegas, or not too far from you, but she's in Vegas. But Christine Mendoza is a really good one,
Okay, I'll look her up. Thank you for that.
and also Sharonica Hinton, who's Women's Physique. She does good with figure posing as well.
Oh, sweet. Okay, good to know. I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
sure. Um, what is your husband's name, by the way?
My husband's name is Mike, and we've been together for a long time. Probably going on 14, 15, probably about 14 years, but we've been married for 8 years. Crazy part is when I competed in Toronto, it was our wedding anniversary weekend.
Oh, really?
So
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
so we went out there to compete, and I won, and I was like, okay, here's your present. Happy anniversary.
Oh, that's sweet. That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's funny because like last year or the year before, I always happen to compete around our wedding anniversary. It just happens to be that way, but yeah, he's been my rock, just the backbone to everything that I do. We went into business together with the meal prep company. We pretty much left our jobs at the time and just went all in and prayed it worked.
Yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
and so it did, and so here we are, and the business has really helped me in the bodybuilding side to be able to compete. So
Yeah.
I'm super happy and blessed about that.
That's very cool. Yeah. Is Mike a pro also?
No, he's an amateur still, but I'm hoping we're pushing for him to compete again soon, and then hopefully he goes into the Masters national show for the 45 and over. So
Oh,
we'll be
and which division does he do?
men's physique.
Men's physique. Oh, very
Hmm.
cool. It's awesome. Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think there's certainly an advantage to having your husband as coach or any kind of in-person coach because I think versus virtual, I've heard that from other people or other ladies that somebody who can kind of really see you in person and see what kind of changes you need to make or what kind of tweaks or whatever. Do you think that helps?
Oh, 100%. I mean, he knows the criteria when it comes to the figure division. And so it just makes it easier to like tweak things, or hey, he'll tell me you need to work on this or work on that. Tell your trainer we need to hit it hard on this or that or whatever. So
Mm.
yeah, it definitely makes it easier to have someone in person, specific, and even living with them, so in house. So I feel like I'm spoiled at that, in that area. So just like I
Mhm.
have my own coach living with me. So
That's
but
awesome.
yeah, I'm super blessed that he took on that role to be able to help me and achieve the goals that I have achieved so far.
That's terrific. That's really cool. I think that's great. Yeah. I was curious, what would you say is the most challenging aspect of prep for you?
You know what? It would probably be um the nutrition side is not a problem. I mean, I've built the discipline on that. The training side of it is probably it could probably be a little bit difficult, only because my scheduling. I have a personal trainer. I'm with her 5 days a week,
Hmm.
and so we just kind of, if there's times where I can't make it because of meetings with the city or whatnot. That's probably like the most challenging side of it. The cardio, of course. That's a lot of fun. uh, but you just do what you just do what you have to do. I feel like I have built the discipline throughout the years where when I think about everything that I have to do, I don't overwhelm myself. I just kind of check off boxes. I tell people that I'm a robot. I pretty much created a robot where I'm just like, I need to do this, this, and this, and that. I don't really bitch about anything. I just do the work,
Hmm.
and make sure that I'm in bed by a certain time so I can wake up and do cardio. I do cardio when I get out of bed. I do cardio about 3 in the morning, 3:30 in the morning. People think
Wow.
people think I'm crazy, But it's how my schedule works, with everything that I have going on. you know
Yeah,
I have a set, I have to do a way that I have to do things, and it just works for me. So
I
yeah.
understand. Yeah. Yeah, you gotta find out what works for you for sure. And no, it sounds like it sounds like it works well for you though. And that's yeah, 3 o'clock though. That's early. I know other ladies who have done the same kind of thing, but it's also kind of getting to bed early too, I imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm in bed by like 8 p.m. you know
Wow, really? Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny because like there's meetings I have where they go past that. I had one meeting that went to like 11. I was like, man, you guys are cutting into my sleep time.
Oh.
I gotta
Oh,
go.
I understand. Yeah.
But I took the role as a council member, so it's part of my job. I have like everything else I do in my life. You have to do what you got to do. You're there for the people. So
Yeah, how I was curious. I think you're the first politician I've had on the podcast, but how did you get involved with Turlock City Council like that? And how long have you been a councilwoman?
So my business is in Turlock. We've been really successful in this area. I wanted to. I was talking when at the time I was talking to my husband. I was like, you know what? Uh, the city has been so responsive, and surrounding towns, they have been very supportive of my business. We have helped thousands of people with our meal prep, and and just living a better and healthier life. Where, you know being the person that I am, I wanted to do more. So I was like, what more can I do to help, the people? And so I actually reached out to the mayor of Turlock, and I asked her like, hey, like I want to do more for the city. Like, what can I do? Where do I go? And so I reached out. She directed me to the city manager, and it just so happens last year there was the seat was open for my area.
Oh, okay.
So I ended up running, and I had an opponent, but I ended up winning. 75% of the votes were for me, so people
Nice.
liked me, I guess.
Nice. Very good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I got sworn in this year, so the term is 4 years, so I will be there up till 2028, and then I will be up for re-election.
Wow. Oh, so this is still new to you though, huh?
Just the first term, yeah, I'm literally, every day I'm learning something new. There's also other committees in the county that I'm a part of, so it's a lot of reading, a lot of studying, but it's things that we don't realize that we kind of should know, because we want to, as far as our tax dollars go, it's like, okay, that's where our money's going. This is that. So it's interesting and exciting. It could be boring at times,
Yeah,
but
sure.
just getting to know more of how the city and the county works, and the things that we vote for, and it's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting, and I like I said, I'm learning something new every day, and the city of Turlock is very supportive, and it's been great so far.
That's great. I think that's really cool. And I always like with your opponent, you could do like the grainy black and white attack ads, like
Oh yeah.
no,
It's, it's the funny part is, I during my campaign season, I ran a positive campaign. That's just the type of person that I am. And then, at the very, very end of it, there was some interesting stuff being said from the other opponent. I'm just like,
Mhm.
wow, like,
Hmm.
I thought you were nice, but politics.
It can get kind of nasty sometimes, even with a local race like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so especially in our area, it's a small town, a very tight knit community. And so I was just like, all right, let's just see how this goes. And I'm gonna stick to my values. I'm not going any other way because people are telling me to. And I mean, it's if you as long as you are yourself as a person and you're able to be transparent with people, people are going to vote for you. They're going to be like, you know what, like I think this is going to be a good option. And so, I feel like Turlock needed another strong leader in council. And so, fortunately for me, I was able to get that seat. So the
That's awesome.
mayor, our Turlock mayor, is actually she's she's a retired police officer, but she's actually a gold medalist in javelin.
Wow.
So yeah, so she won two gold medals last year, and she's gonna go to Australia next year to the fire police and world games. So
Wow.
she's a strong leader herself. So I really look up to her for that. So
Wow, that's cool. I bet she probably respects you being a competitor too, I bet, as in
yeah,
bodybuilding. Yeah.
yeah, she's very supportive of it. So I'm blessed to have that support.
I was curious how big is Turlock? How many population?
It's around 72,000 people.
Is it that big? Oh, I didn't realize it was that big.
Yeah, and then Modesto, which is about 20 minutes north of us, is I believe around 230 around there. So it's about four times the size as Turlock. So we're the second biggest town in our county.
Mm.
But you can kind of see like the big difference in from Modesto to Turlock. But
Oh,
it's it's
wow.
it's growing. It's growing a lot. There's a lot of new businesses coming into town, and it's a great town. It's a great town. It's a very, like I mentioned, it's a very tight knit. Everybody kind of knows each other, so it's great. I love it here.
Wow, that's more than I expected. Yeah, and I could see. I've looked at the map, and it looks like eventually Modesto and Turlock will grow together. Probably be like one strip of development there eventually.
Maybe so. I guess we'll see.
That's how it goes in Florida. I know it kind of mostly here in Florida. Uh, no, that's cool. Well, also tell me about your business. I know it's Fit Kitchen Meal Prep in Turlock. So how long have you had your business, and what do y'all specialize in there?
So, Fit Kitchen Meal Prep has been in business since 2020. We actually started our business during COVID.
Mm. Hmm.
So during that time, once COVID hit, at that everything was kind of uncertain when it comes to, the job. So I used to be in sales, and my husband worked in metal fab. He built tractors. And
Oh, wow.
so once COVID hit, we're just kind of like, okay, well, what are we gonna do now? We still had our jobs, but previous to all of this, we kind of started a meal prep business like maybe 5 years prior to that, but we weren't all in on it. We were still working a
Mm.
full-time job, trying to, start this side business, but it just took up too much time where we couldn't really commit to it.
Hmm.
And so once COVID hit, I told my husband, "Hey, you know what? Maybe this is the opportunity and time that we need to take advantage of to really get our business, our dream that we've been trying to do, going." And so I took the lead. I started everything as far as the business goes. I did all the paperwork. And then I quit my job. I called my boss, and I told him, I was like, "Hey, listen," I go, "I don't know how long I'm gonna stick around for, but you can take this as a 2 weeks notice. I may be around for 2 weeks, for 2 months. I don't know, but I'm just giving you a heads up."
Okay.
And
Yeah.
so they're like, "Oh, okay." They were really caught off guard, but I was like, you know what? Like, no, like in my mind, I'm ready. Like, I'm ready to go all in. I'm gonna take this chance on myself, and I'm ready to go into the unknown, and whatever happens, happens. And so I quit. My last day of work was actually Christmas, so it was kind of a
Oh.
gift.
Uh-huh.
And so thereafter, the business took off. my husband ended up quitting his job 2 months later,
Mm,
so that way he can help with the business as well. And then from there, we hired on people to be able to help run the business,
okay.
and it just took off. It took off, and it's the meal prep is needed, specifically in our community. So we specialize in well balanced meals. It's not just for bodybuilders. It's for everybody. I mean, I have customers that range from the kids, teens, all the way to the elderly people.
Mm,
So, and then so when it comes to the elderly people, they don't cook for themselves anymore, so they need help.
yeah. Hmm.
And so, and then for the young ones, they're just learning about nutrition. So this is a perfect way to, introduce them to, proper eating and, portion control and not overeating.
Mm,
Because in our county, the population, it's at least the numbers are probably higher, but it's about 60% of our county is overweight.
really?
And
Wow.
that's a huge problem. And that was kind of
Mm,
an eye opener for me and my husband. And we're just like, you know what, we need to change something around here.
yeah.
And, because this is a serious problem. I mean, it's, from the parents not really knowing how to eat and their children just kind of following their lead,
Hmm.
the obesity rate is going to start at a younger age.
Yeah, that's
And
true. That's
and
not good.
so and that's concerning for me. I don't have any kids, but I see them, and I'm just like, this is a problem. We need to help. We need to help these people. And
Yeah.
so and I'm really passionate about that side of it because I want to be able to, have these people use my product to change their life, to live a healthier lifestyle. And we have created people that are now creatures of habit, and they have been with us since the very beginning. And I'm just like, it's
Nice.
just so amazing to see where they started and where they are now and how long they've been with us. I mean, as a business ourselves, like our product has improved, throughout the years. And, just to see that they've been with us through the beginning,
Yeah.
where
That's
we
perfect.
thought we had, good product, but now it's even better. It's just amazing to see. And just the stories that I hear from, our customers, it gives me the chills. These people come in, they've been, one woman has been with us for 7 months, and she lost, over 45 pounds just
Wow.
eating our product. She comes in every Saturday, grabs 20 meals, and she's good for the week. And and
Wow.
we
Nice.
have so many people that way where it's just our new customers become our regulars. And it's just so awesome to see that they understand why we have this business and why this product works. There's other meal prep companies out there where they're good, I'm sure, but we take pride in weighing out every meal so
Hmm.
you can properly count your macros and you're not
Hmm.
overeating, because we want to make sure that the people know how to control the portions.
Hmm.
And versus going out and dining at a restaurant, and that you are being served the double size amount of food.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
and you're eating it all in one sitting. And it's
Mhm.
just kind of it's hard. I'm not saying it's easy to eat the way you're supposed to be able to live a healthier life. I just tell people, what, take it one day at a time. Don't overthink it.
Hmm.
And just kind of just work it in, just work it in day by day. And just see how your nutrition, how it's going to change your life. and
Hmm.
and I can say that we have changed a lot of lives in this area, where they are now living a healthier life.
That's terrific. Yeah. do y'all do delivery, or did they have to come to your store to pick them up and stuff? Or
So we do deliveries as well in the area.
oh, you
And
do?
then our store is like grab and go style. So if you're kind of in a hurry or you'd rather come in and grab, a variety of meals, you can do that. But we also do online ordering as well and we deliver.
Oh wow. Does your
Hmm.
location there have like an on-site kitchen too? You probably have
Hmm.
to do a lot of cooking. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we prep every morning. So we're at the kitchen about 4 in the morning, right after I do my cardio, we go to work. And
Oh
we're there.
wow.
Yeah. So yeah, like I tell you, I have a set schedule for everything. So
Yeah. That's like a baker's hours there. That's
yeah.
hours. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow, that's so cool though. I think that's terrific.
Thank you.
And yeah, I think that's great about your mission of helping people too, through the meals that way. And it's kind of, I'm sure it feels good to have helped that many people too. That's really cool.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's just, and every story and every person that comes in telling us about their story and once they walk out, I tell my husband that's the reason why I do it right there is because these people come back and they're like, "Oh my gosh, like I feel so much better. I feel lighter, like my blood pressure's down." We have a lot
Mm,
of customers that are diabetics, so they need certain
mm,
foods, and so we specialize in that too.
mm.
And so just hearing the stories, it just, that's the reason why I do it.
That'd be cool to get some, or maybe unless you already have it, but like video testimonials for your website or something like that. The people who went through it and got the benefits. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're working on some right now. We were on a roll doing like the videos once a month, but then I got into prep and then my time kind of went that way.
Oh no, I understand. No. I was thinking, plus in Tokyo with the food, as a food person, that'd be kind of neat for you to get to see like the whole different culture and
Oh yeah.
yeah, and I'm sure the food is a lot different than the American style Asian food is a little different than what you get in the real place or the real deal like in Japan or whatever. So
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'll make sure to document all that for you guys
that'd be awesome. Yeah.
for sure.
When I was at UF and University of Florida in Gainesville, I had actually roomed with a native Chinese guy and got to be friends with some Chinese folks. But I remember taking him to a Chinese restaurant in Gainesville, and they're like, "What is this orange chicken? I've never seen this before. Like, why? This is not Chinese food." So, um, and then I went to Beijing and Shanghai and got to eat real Chinese food, and I was like, "Oh my God, it was so tasty."
Oh my gosh, I could imagine.
It was great. Yeah. Um, they had some weird shit though too, like duck head and they're
Oh my gosh.
munching on the back of the duck head and picking the bones out. And I was like, oh, I'm not eating that. It was too weird. No, that's so cool. I was curious, in terms of bodybuilding, does your parents support your bodybuilding efforts too?
Oh yeah, 100% they do. In the beginning, it was they weren't really they were supportive, they just didn't understand how serious and like the specifics of it. So my both of my parents are from Mexico.
Mm,
So when I told them how committed I was and the certain foods that I need to eat, my mom's like, well, so you can't eat tortillas, you can't eat this or that, like all the good Mexican food. And I was like, no, mom, at least not right now. And it took them a while to kind of understand that, but now they're like, okay, my daughter's serious about this, so I'm gonna support this. And but yeah, they're fully supportive in everything. Even when I told my mom I was gonna quit my job to start my business, she was just like, all right, you do what you have to do. If whatever help you need, let me know. And so,
terrific.
but yeah, they've had my back, this whole time. So, I'm super blessed to have their support and just still have them in my life. So,
Oh, that's terrific. Yeah. Did they have any qualms with having their girl on stage in a bikini though? I didn't know. I was
No,
worried about that with parents, you know.
not really. I showed them pictures of, how it's gonna be, and they were just like, wow. And I'm like, yeah, mom. I go, that's what I have to wear. And she's like, oh my gosh. But no, they were very supportive of it. Yeah, they're happy.
That's great. Yeah. I just think sometimes our parents, come from a different generation, they might not be so cool with, especially with their kid getting up on stage with very little clothing maybe. So
I know. Yeah, at first I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to tell my parents, but I was like, you know what? It's part of the sport. But
yeah, it's
yeah,
great that they're so supportive too. Because I've interviewed ladies whose parents are not so supportive, unfortunately. So yeah.
yeah, I mean, and it is what it is, I mean, they'll come around soon enough, is because, at the end of the day, they're gonna see how committed and passionate you are about this sport. And so, once they see that, it's just kind of like, okay, you kind of got to give them that support, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, that's true. It'd be interesting if you find any Mexican food in Japan, see if they get it
Right.
right. That would
We'll
be
see.
interesting. There's definitely Japanese spin on it, I'm sure. It'd be fun.
Right.
I just have a few more questions for you. Are you still good on time?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I was curious, and you just wrapped up Toronto, of course, but do you ever deal with like a post-show blues kind of feeling, and if so, how do you handle that, or how do you adjust to that?
You know what? Not really. Of course I have my good food after the show and stuff, but the very next day I've built the discipline to be able to just get back to work and just do what I have to do. But no, nothing like that, thankfully.
Good.
Just back on track with whatever I do, or like as I mentioned earlier, I just kind of see myself as a robot. It's like, okay, as much as I want to, eat that whole box of donuts, or as much as I want to do that, I don't. Like, I've had my time to enjoy the food, and then just kind of go back into plan of, whatever I have coming ahead.
Okay, that's terrific. Yeah. Box of donuts. I like that. Yeah. Krispy Kreme, maybe. Uh-huh.
I did see a Krispy Kreme in Tokyo, so we'll see.
There's a Krispy Kreme near me where they make them, and then they have the hot sign when they're fresh. And,
Ooh.
oh, it's so tempting. And they kind of like beam that thing on the road too. It's like,
Oh my
oh,
gosh.
hot. I don't go there very often.
Uh,
I was curious, do you ever find it hard to keep up with demands of social media? And I think you deserve more followers personally, but hopefully now with this win and Masters Tokyo or Masters Olympia coming up, you'll get more followers. But what do you think about social media?
you know, uh, I I've kind of become an introvert when it comes to social media. When it comes to my business side, I try to post every day, of course, because I gotta promote my business. But even like with this past prep up to going to Canada, I didn't really post much because I was just really focused on what I have to do. So, but I do want to post more. It's just it's not my priority
Mhm.
to keep posting every day. If people want to know what I'm up to, they reach out, and I'll let them know. And
Okay,
and that's pretty much how I do things. But as far as
sure.
the social media side, from my personal side, I just kind of do things here and there. Like I'll post on my story, but it's not my priority. It's just my business is where I put more of the attention to.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Hmm.
I will make sure to include your business IG profile too when you have an IG for or Instagram, don't you, for that?
Yep, I do. Yeah, I'll share that with you as well.
Okay, terrific. Yeah, no, I think that's good. Um, I was curious, Ted, do you ever have to deal with any like nasty trolls or kind of overbearing fans? And I know fans got to behave and trolls just need to be blocked sometimes. So,
Yeah, it's funny you say that. Yes. there's trolls out there for sure, but I just kind of laugh at it. I'll tell my husband like, "Hey, look at this person, what they're saying about me," and we just kind of like laugh it off. But then there's some that just kind of keep saying things, and it's like, you know what, like I don't need to see all that, so I just kind of block them. I mean,
Yeah.
if they want to create another account and keep trolling, then I'm gonna just make them work and create the other account.
I think, yeah, I agree with you on that. Yeah.
But you know what? I don't really I don't let it get to me. I I have I have a pretty strong mindset. I don't let, things like that get to me. People are going to say what they're going to say. Other people's opinion is none of my business is how I like to see it. If they want to say something nice, thank you. I appreciate that as well. But there's always going to be trolls out there, whether we like it or not. And it's just part of life, and it's, social media has made it very easy for these people to, bash others for their hard work. And,
Mhm. Yeah.
and of course their accounts are private, so you'll never know who they are. And,
Mm.
I really don't care. I mean, you're giving me you're talking about me, you're going on my social media. Apparently I'm interesting to you. So,
Yeah.
um, you
Yeah.
know, it is what it is.
Yeah. I like that's good attitude, I think, and don't let it get you down too.
Oh yeah, never.
Yeah.
Because the second you do, they're gonna be like, haha, I win.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. They want to kind of get your goat and
Hmm.
push your buttons. Yeah, yeah, that's true. And I often call it anti-social media because you do have that very negative aspect to Instagram and Facebook and now they've taken away moderation controls. So I think it's even worse now. It's even like more Wild West kind of thing now.
Oh yeah, it's crazy the stuff you see out there, even like, and even not for myself, but just when, like, I see other people like trolling others, I'm like, man, I go, these people suck. Like, you don't have anything else to do. Like, I don't know, maybe if you put that attention and focus on yourself, you would be a better person. So, but
Yeah, that's
what do I know?
yeah, pick up some weights instead of being keyboard warrior or whatever.
Something,
Yeah.
yeah. I call them
Mhm.
keyboard gangsters.
Keyboard gangsters. I like that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I like that. That does work actually. Probably down in the basement, just
Yeah,
yeah, eating hot pockets and stuff.
right.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate you coming on and speaking with me for FBB Forum. I was curious if there's anything I missed that you'd like to address or anybody you'd like to shout out.
No, I wanted to shout out my husband. Like I mentioned earlier, he's been my biggest supporter along with my parents. They have been they have helped me to get where I am up to this point. I've been blessed to be able to do what I love. Just working on myself, number one, my health, my business, helping others. I mean, I feel like I'm living the American dream, and I'm super happy where I am today, and I plan on getting better as the time goes on, and that way I can continue to inspire young boys and girls to live out their dreams as well, because ultimately that's kind of where my heart is too, is just helping our younger generation to be better as a person or growing up, and just don't let anybody bring you down. If there's things that you want to do, give them a try. You just have to kind of let them know and understand that it's going to get a little bit uncomfortable. You got to get outside of that comfort zone in order to be able to grow or improve or do whatever it is that you want to do. So
Mhm.
ultimately my goal with everything that I do in life is to inspire people to pursue their dreams as well.
I like that. That's nice. Yeah. You mentioned you don't have kids, but I was curious if you have any nieces and nephews.
I have one niece and one nephew, and they're both in their 20s and they kind of have their own life going on. I
Mm.
do have a dog. He's a 8-year-old husky who's pretty much my dog son.
Oh, nice. Very cool. Huskies are cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he definitely keeps us busy.
that's awesome. No, I think that's great. I like that. And you kind of have like very positive and outlook and real sense of gratitude, I think, too. That's great. I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah. I was curious too, do you have any sponsors? Or are you interested in getting some?
I do not have any sponsors yet. My goal is to absolutely get sponsors. I haven't reached out to anybody yet either. I plan to here in the near future, especially going into Tokyo.
Mhm.
So that's actually on my list of things to do this upcoming week. But yeah, absolutely. I am open to sponsors for sure. My business is my only sponsor, I guess you can say.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But hey, it's getting the job done, so I'm able to go to Tokyo. So
That's awesome. No, that's so cool. I'm really excited for you to go to Tokyo and hope you have a great trip and like I said, eat some good food. I bet the food's gonna be
oh
great.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Will you get to play tourist at all? I mean, do you think, or do you like spend some time checking out the city?
Yeah, absolutely. So the days after the shows, we have a few days there to kind of roam around. We're kind of looking things up right now and kind of slowly building an itinerary. I actually have my brother-in-law and his girlfriend are going to go with us, so that it'll be me, my husband, my brother-in-law, and his girlfriend. So
Cool.
we'll have a small group out there, and we're gonna build the itinerary together. But one thing we do, it sounds like we're gonna go to Mount Fuji.
Oh, really?
So that's on the list. So that's an all day trip in itself. So we got to go see it.
That's awesome. Wow, that's so exciting. Yeah, best wishes to you. I bet, yeah, that's great that you'll have family coming too, so to join you. I bet that'll be
Yeah,
great. Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Erica. I really appreciate your time. Would you mind doing a quick bicep flex for me?
Absolutely.
Wow, looking good. Yeah, you look beautiful. Thank you.
Absolutely.
And yeah, best wishes to you. Definitely. I'll definitely be keeping up with and seeing. I think I'll be up late that night watching the show on live stream. So I definitely want to watch it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's gonna be cool.
I wish I could be there though, but yeah, just not in the cards. But I hope you do qualify for the Olympia though, because I do plan on going back to Vegas next this year, so in October.
Awesome.
So I'm excited about that. So yeah.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Eric. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah, and yeah, best wishes and congrats again on Toronto too.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.